welcome to this video. In this segment, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about weight shift and why that's important. We hear a lot of discussion, a lot of articles about the necessity for weight shift, and I think sometimes we don't always understand why we need to have that, or how to do it, or what it means to shift your weight and how to move through the golf shot, especially on the downswing. So I want to walk through some of those ideas with you and start from, you see I've got a club set up here, just a reference for a target line. So we tend to think the golf swing is very rotary, and it certainly looks rotary, and most of the articles that you've read by the great players talk about how they start the downswing with rotation. But there's more to it than that, okay? So let's look at this possibility that we could have the world's most perfect backswing. Certainly is possible. And we got the club up here in just a phenomenal location, okay? And we start the downswing with rotation. Now, what happens for most people is your brain says rotate, even if it says rotate the hips, because we're tied together from sternum to waist, everything rotates, okay? I think it's a learned behavior or a learned movement to be able to rotate the hips and keep the shoulders square. Certainly something you can learn, but for most people, they go to the top, turn the hips, and the shoulders go too. It's a natural movement. So, do you understand how you could have this great spot at the top and rotate, and now the club comes down and it's across this target line? There's your slice. So we need to understand that that's common. There must be something else that's going on to keep a great player from coming over the top. What is he doing or she doing that's so different than what the high handicap golfer does? So we need to look at, what does it mean to move your weight through the golf ball, through the downswing, and how can we learn to do that better, okay? So again, from face on, even the people on TV who are experts, they look very rotational, especially at normal camera speed. But what happens when you slow the swing down, you're going to see some different things are going on, okay? So let's go to the top again. What if we delayed the rotation for a split second and started to slide a little bit, a lateral movement? And as we did that, the arms let the club drop a little bit, and we got into this position here. Then, couldn't we rotate as much as we want and still have the club effectively take the path to the right, which would give you a draw? Absolutely. So that's the key. What does that weight shift do for you? What does that slide do for you? There's two things it does primarily. One, it takes the bottom of the swing, or the bottom of the arc, where the club comes down, and it moves that location forward. That's necessary if you don't want to hit behind the ball, okay? The second thing it does, though, is it delays that natural over-the-top rotation enough so that the club and arms can drop more behind you, okay? So what we see in the biggest slicers may be a pretty good backswing, a lot of rotation, okay? The right knee will come out towards you, the left knee will straighten early, the weight stays on the back foot, and you get this kind of finish here. Big slice, okay? The better players, same backswing position, they are moving laterally, especially with hips and the knees are going more towards a parallel line to the target instead of this way, okay? So we need to think about a way we can practice that, retrain the body to move better or differently. So I want you to imagine you had like a surfboard underneath your feet. I've never done surfing, but we can certainly imagine. And we're going to take our arms like this, okay? Kind of make a natural backswing turn. And I want you to imagine that you're going to take your knees and your hips and kind of get yourself on this slant, like you're on this slanted surfboard and you're trying to maintain your balance. But you want to be slanted this way, okay? So I'm going to ride that wave this way, and then I'm going to finish. Would that look different than this? Yeah. Watch my arm path. When I do it incorrectly, watch my arm path. Across the ball. Watch my arm path when I get my knees and my hips to go forward. Okay? Look what it does to my spine angle. Here, my spine is tilted this way. My left knee is still bent. My right knee is still bent, but moving that way. Okay? Now all I have to do is keep turning. I got this great position, and this great path is starting to shoot to the right. Can you see that path shooting to the right versus swinging across the ball to the left? So that's just a couple ideas, some things to think about. What does weight shift do for you? It moves the bottom of the swing forward. It helps take the path more to the right. We have to find a way to practice that effectively, retrain the body how to move differently, and then start applying that in slow swings where we can get the feel that it still feels the same. And then I would put a ball there, hit a few, come back, retrain the motion, and start changing the way you feel as you go through the ball. But that's the one I want you to stick in your mind, is that's going to keep the path shooting more to the right. This guy's going to always be cutting across the ball, pulls, slices, pull hooks, okay? So that's my ideas, okay? Any questions, let me know, post it here on YouTube. Any comments, be glad to read those. And you got any questions, of course. And come join us on Facebook, Augusta Golf Instruction on Facebook, okay?